Hey, g'day guys, how you going? It's Justin Allen here with my Good Advice channel, here to give you good advice for a better future. Right, today I'm talking about how much money can you make through Uber on a Saturday. So I'm going to conduct an experiment. The start time will be 11:30. First of all, I'm going to clean the interior and clean the car, and then after that I'm going to go get some fuel and I'll get some lunch throughout the day and a coffee. So I'm going to drive for approximately, you can only drive for 12 hours with Uber, and then I'll drive for Didi for a little bit as well, hopefully a couple of hours. So in total it's going to be probably roughly an hour to clean the car and get me fuel, and then it'll be 12 hours on Uber and 2 hours on Didi. So it's going to be a long day, and also you've got to take into consideration that I normally pick up about 30 trips on a Saturday, so you've got to keep in mind that the car will get trashed, so it's really going to take another 45 minutes to clean it back up again tomorrow morning. So you've got to take that into consideration as well. So I'll conduct this experiment. We'll see how much money I end up at the end of the day, and I'll follow the track throughout the day of my earnings, and we'll see what I end up with. But going off the past, I generally make around $400, and some weeks, like last week, was very busy and I got a lot of surges, and I got I think it was $520. And my best week, like I've been doing Uber now for 2 years, and I've done over 10,000 rides plus Taxify and Didi, so I've done a lot of rides. It's some up there, over 10,500 rides, so I've had a lot of experience, and I generally find the most I've ever made would be $620, but that's very lucky, you know, pot luck. And Uber's changed their system. You used to be able to do 12 hours of like if you're parked on the side of the road, it wouldn't take the 12, like the clock wouldn't tick down from the 12 hours, but now the 12 hours constantly ticking every second that you're online with Uber. So it does, like sometimes if you're in the city, you can like pay to just turn it off and get out of the city, because I believe on a Saturday everywhere is busy, right? So why would you want to be in the city where it's slow, it's horrible, you know, Hootle and Punt Road, it's terrible, you get stuck in the traffic, 40k zones, people walking around everywhere. There's no potential to make any money in the city, so I try to stay away from the city. I think the best time to go to the city is probably at the end of the night, around 2 in the morning, once everybody's definitely going home from their clubbing and drinking. So I try to stay away from it now. So we'll see what I end up with. Last Saturday I was driving around the peninsula, and it's like the end of the summer and it's a long weekend today. It's gonna be a long weekend. We've got Monday off, so a lot of people should be down the peninsula in fun mode, drinking and partying. So last weekend I was down, I got a lot of trips to the Sorrento pub, and there's like wineries down the peninsula, and I find this area is good, but you do tend to put a lot of Ks on your car. You can easily put on 500 Ks on your car and go for a lot of fuel. There's a downside, and a lot of the trips are good size, but some of them can be 25 minutes away and 22 minutes away, so it does cost you a bit of your time. Right guys, I started washing the car at approximately 11:30 AM, and today is the 9th of March 2019. So it's taken me 45 minutes to clean the car inside and out, and now I'm going down to the petrol station to get fuel, and we'll do an analysis of how much the fuel costs through. I'll fill it up the next day, and we'll see how much fuel I've gone through. Alright guys, I'll just give you a quick run around of the car, and then I'm going to the servo. Right guys, I filled up my car with fuel. It's all done. As you can see, it's at full. You can see the temperature. It's a pretty warm day. It's roughly 1 degree out, so it's about 23 degrees. And on the right you can see it says 5k, so I've done 5k's from my place to the servo, and we'll conduct how much fuel and how many k's I do over the period of today. And keep in mind, if you're an Uber driver, you can get 8 cents a litre off if you've got a good rating at any Caltex. You just got to show your Uber discount on your phone. Keep that in mind, guys. Right guys, got me coffee, got me fuel, car's been washed, I'm good to go. So we're about to go online and see what I end up with. Plan on driving all day. It's generally going to be another 14 hours from now. So around 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. So we'll see what I end up with. Just to keep you guys in mind what sort of money you can make. But I'd have to say it depends, like it's a total gamble what you end up with. Some weeks I've ended up with 300, some weeks I've ended up with 600. Only once I've ever ended up with 600. But there's potential to make between $350 and $500, I'd have to say, if you put in 14 hours plus washing the car. And I'll conduct this experiment to prove it for all the skeptics out there. Alright guys, I'm currently in Currum Downs, north of Frankston. And we'll see what I end up with, and I'll stop later for a Subway, but other than that I'll be just keep going all day. Alright guys. Right guys, it's 20 past 2. I've done 4 trips, 1 through Diddy, and now I'm just about to get a Subway. Alright guys, I'm stopping for my lunch. Yep. So guys, I'm down the Rye beach at the moment. Just dropped some people off at the Rye Hotel. So I'm down by the beach basically, and I was working down here last weekend, and it's a very good area on a weekend, especially a Saturday, especially in this time of year when it's good weather. So I generally take a lot of people to the Sorrento pub. I've already taken one lot there, and it's a very popular place on a Saturday. Very nice scenery down here, and they've currently got a surge on at the moment, so it's a good area to work. I find in summer on a good day. And I've just given you an update, like I was in Frankston and then went quiet, so I headed south down to Mornington Way, and then I got a ride that took me to a winery. There was a wedding on or something, and then I got another job that just let me south, and then I got taken to Sorrento pub, and now I'm in this area which I was working last week, and it's a pretty good area. I'll show you some pictures around this area. It's a fantastic spot. Alright guys. So guys, I got home at 1:50 a.m. Right guys, I'll tell you the summary of Saturday. Well, I was driving around Frankston and then I headed down to the peninsula and I was working down that area. I managed to get a job that led me eventually down to Sorrento, and then I was working that area. And it's a long weekend, so it was busy down there. A lot of traffic, a lot of people going down the beach, and it was a good day. The weather was pretty great. I'd have to say, like, I had 2 bad customers yesterday and I had 1 good customer. I did about 30 trips and 1 trip through Didi. That area is not so good for Didi, but it's good to be away from all the city traffic. After a while it does do your head in, but you can put an extra 100 k's on your car. So if I had been in the city, I might have done say 400 k's instead of 500 k's. I'll do a summary at the end of the clip of the analysis of the k's and how much fuel and how much I've made. And I'd have to say the outcome would be an average outcome of what you can expect to make if you drive for Uber on a Saturday all day. And you've got to take into consideration of washing your car for approximately an hour, and then you've got to get fuel and food and then clean it back up again. And since I did so many trips, I would have to say I've just washed my car just now and it was completely trashed. The car was like, there was shit everywhere, there was all dust everywhere. And I'll tell you about what happened last night. A guy made a mess of my car. So first of all, the worst trip I had last night was I picked up a guy down near Frankston South, like that sort of region, and I was taking him to Langwarrin, and it wasn't him who ordered the Uber, it was like a friend, I'd say. She ordered the Uber for him, and he was very drunk, and he got put in the car, and she didn't put the address, which was great, so I had to keep asking him which way to go. And we first originally tried to put into the GPS and it wouldn't come up, his address wouldn't come up. So then we headed down to Langwarrin, and he kept on falling asleep in the car, and he had a beer can in his hand, and he was pretty intoxicated. He was a late 40s year old person, and he I kept on asking him which way to go, and he kept on nodding off and falling asleep. And he kept on saying, "Oh, keep going straight." And I said, "Keep going straight." And he said, "Keep going straight." And eventually went the wrong way and he fell asleep. And then I had to shout a bit to wake him up. And then I dropped him off, eventually after he woke up, and he directed me which way to go. And he got out of the car, and I had a look, and on the passenger front seat, he spilled his whole half of his beer can all over the seat, and it stinks and reeks. And I don't drink alcohol, and it really pongs, and it started to make me feel a bit south, not feeling that well. And it's it's great, really ruined my night. And then he got out of the car, and he left his keys on the ground, and he left his phone fell out, and I had to tell him to get it, and he was so intoxicated and tired. It was a really great customer, but I did manage to get 1 good customer. I picked up some 3 guys, a bit rowdy in the car, but they were in control. They were just mucking around, fun, talking, and saying some stupid comments, of course. And they managed to, once I dropped them off, they gave me a $10 tip. So I was very happy. That was my only tip for the day. And another carload I had a function, must have been a birthday, and I picked up a girl was in the front, and I had 3 guys in the back, and they were just being stupid, and the guys in the back were just being stupid, out of control. And it was her, the lady in the front, it was her account, and there's just no respect, completely drunk, 20-year-olds, even threw a beer bottle out to the side and went smash while we're driving. They even punching each other and carrying on and saying stupid stuff, and stuff you have to put up with Uber. You got to keep in mind what you have to put up with. And they were farting, and she was saying, "Oh, who farted?" And then they opened up the windows, and it started to get cold late at night, and it was feeling really cold. and it was all that, all this headache of what you have to put up with Uber with drunken 20-year-olds. And I had, that, you have bad experiences eventually. You just got to cop it a bit. And also, like, I'll give you the summary of the outcome in the end. And I'd have to say the outcome today was an average outcome, but I did miss out on the surge. Like, you can't control where you go with Uber, otherwise you have to turn it off and then lose money, and back to where you're more likely to get to work. Because I do know that the Sorrento pub shuts at 12 o'clock, a customer told me, so it's good to be around there, because I did have a look and there was a surge going on, but I had a look and I put in my GPS, I was 50 minutes away. It wasn't worth driving 50 minutes for a couple of rides, and by the time you get there it would have been over. So you've got to keep in mind sometimes. Alright guys, so overall the outcome was pretty good. Alright, I'll give you a show of the summary on my phone and everything. Alright guys, have a great day. Right guys, I just filled up my car, but the Uber discount has not been added to the fuel price, so we'll find out the final price in a second.